Lance and Steven in the morning.
Nights.
Nights. It feels like nights for you, doesn't it, Lance?
It does. My kids are sick. And so May was up way too long in the middle of the night.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was awful.
So,
And then she gets up and she's like, happy as can be. And I'm like, oh, at least you're happy.
that's one of us.
That's one of us. Yeah. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning to everybody who's joining. 2 of you joining live so far, and for all those that will come in later.
Good morning. People in need of coffee and a break.
Yeah.
And the smooth, velvety tones of our jazz.
So, Lance, rough night. You need some coffee.
Yeah.
And as it so happens, I just received this beauty today.
That is a very beautiful thing. Where'd you get it?
That is a major award.
A major award.
It's a major award. Remember Christmas Story with the leg lamp? It's a major award. Yeah.
Oh.
This is my leg lamp. This is
that's your leg lamp. Janice's accidentally breaks it.
Yeah. No, so Oliver's funeral home had a draw for this card for Pastors Appreciation Month, and I was nominated.
Nice.
They nominate. There was different people that nominated different pastors in the area or whatever.
Yeah.
And my name was drawn. So that's awesome. So thank you to Oliver's Funeral Home for that wonderful gift, and to Kim Talmy who nominated me. So
awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Fantastic.
Very cool. So stick with me, Lance.
Yeah.
All your coffee needs.
I was just thinking that you never did get me an Xbox Series X for my birthday.
I did not.
From your trip to Newfoundland.
I let Danica do that for you. That was.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you do kind of owe me a coffee, don't you? Not to be that guy.
Not to be that guy. I just brought you a mug, but there was no coffee in it. So now I just got to get some coffee to put in that mug for you.
It was missing a key ingredient, yeah. So, but man, you can remedy that right now. That's awesome. Congrats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Good. So to our 3 viewers that are watching live, for those who will watch after, we're continuing a series that we've been doing of chatting with our staff members and talking about assumptions and having some fun little conversations that we have with them.
I thought of a different title for that.
Martin is watching. Hello, Martin.
I forgot about the comments accidentally. Sorry. First impressions, I thought maybe sounded a little bit better than assumptions. I don't know. You know, like assumptions could be like, you know, maybe negative in some ways. I don't know, but first impressions, like your first.
Totally.
Yeah. So who do we have today, Steve?
So joining us in the studio today is our own lead administrator, the talented, the
indomitable,
fun, delightful Susan Castle.
Welcome, Susan.
Good morning.
I should also add to that Pranky. Yeah, the queen of pranks.
Oh, good. I thought you said cranky there for a minute, but
well, it depends on the day, right?
I'll admit to pranky.
Well, you know what? It's funny because if I remember when I first came here, and I think Susan might have been behind this, was all the weird stuff set up in my office. Right?
That's probably true.
The wishing well and the wishing well and the weird plant things and the puppet guy.
Oh, yeah. scary.
You were behind that, weren't you, Susan?
I like him. Well, I don't know. I do like to be a part of those things, but I won't admit to too much.
She likes to be at the top of them, working through puppets. So her
Working
fingerprints are never on it.
Exactly. That's why I'm the lead administrator here, right?
Yeah,
I just need to I put ideas out there, and then people do.
And you can't kill an idea, right? It's just
That's right.
That's funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then I watch while they get caught, and I stand in the back and laugh.
Yeah. Even though we all know it was you, we just have no proof, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So we're talking first impressions with Susan. And so we invite everyone who's watching to comment if you have like questions that kind of tie into first impressions. So like an example would be like, what would you assume Susan would love to do as a hobby? And so you could ask those questions, and we'll ask some questions, and we'll invite everyone to try and guess too. But yeah, Steve, do you want to start us off? Do you have one in the chamber?
Sure, I can start us off. So, I know some of this stuff, but I thought it'd be cool to bring it out. If you were to guess, some of Susan's jobs or careers before she came to CFA, what would you think? And then we'll let Susan share a little bit about the different jobs and careers she's worked before she came on staff here at CFA. We only have 2 people live watching right now, so there's probably not going to be a whole lot of interaction on that.
No, but I'm gonna add a banner.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened last week. We had like 10 people watching when Inga was on, which is
no reflection on Susan.
I know. Should I be offended? No, I don't get offended that easily.
No, I also didn't tag you. Like I didn't say it was getting to know you. Maybe I should have done that.
You should have, yeah.
Yeah. But it'll be fun for people watching later. But I know one of the jobs Susan had before. I know 2 of the jobs Susan had before coming here. So I can't really answer.
I know of 2 as well, and pretty cool actually. Like,
oh yeah,
one of them in particular.
Yeah. So to our 3 guests watching, what would you guess Susan did for a job before? Some Facebook user says I'm here,
Susan.
Oh, okay.
Someone's watching. Someone's in your corner supporting you.
Yay!
Yeah. Anyone want to take a guess?
I'll throw it a hint. It had to do with professional sports.
Oh. Susan, did you work for the CFL at one point?
Yes, I guess you can say that. I did. I actually I lived in Regina at the time. And I worked for the CFL Players Association. Oh, so we were right there on the field with at that time it was Taylor Field, where the Rough Riders, Saskatchewan Rough Riders, played. And so the Players Association is sort of their union or whatever. And so every time a team would come in to play, then I would get to meet all of the players. Would come in and check on their stats and all that kind of stuff. So they'd be in the office all the time. So I got to know a lot of the players actually across Canada.
Wow.
So it was really neat. And when I got the job, I knew absolutely nothing about football.
So people who you're like, I don't know, it's just a job.
Right? So since I am now an avid diehard Rough Rider fan for sure.
You're Rough Riders fan all the way now.
You've worn a watermelon on your head for sure.
Yeah. I've worn a few of those. And when I was at the Players Association, the president at that time was George Reed. So I don't know if a lot of people know who he was. So I worked alongside George Reed, who was a running back for the Saskatchewan Roughriders from years ago. So yeah, so not only did I get to know the current players, but lots of the old Rough Riders. I got to meet Ronnie Lancaster and George Reed, and there's lots of others that would pop into the office. So it was neat.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That I gotta say, that is like, to me, that's one of those when you're in a group and they have those icebreakers and the 2 truths and a lie or whatever, those games, like, to me, that's the coolest one right there. Like,
that's so cool. Vivian is guessing that you worked in an office.
She definitely worked in an office.
So you worked in several offices, I think.
That I did. Yes.
Because I know another one of your jobs was you worked for a small local airport, right?
Yes. I worked actually right out of high school. I worked for a small airline or small charter service. I grew up in Fort St. John. Worked for it was called North Caribou Flying. I actually don't even know if they're still there anymore. But I was the receptionist / dispatcher. So we had lots of little planes. We would fly lots of hunters in and out of, the remote there. People would come from the States to go hunting. So we would take them in a plane and fly them out to some cabin, some of the guides and the hunters and stuff, to go on a hunting trip. Lots of firefighters. I went on, and what I loved about the job was I could get in an airplane anytime and go fly with some of the pilots and stuff like that. So I did lots of tours up in these little Cessna, 182s and stuff, looking for after storms, looking for fires, stuff like that. I've actually flown a DC-3. Probably not too many people could say that. Flown a DC-3. We used to bring in special firefighter teams from Kelowna. So we would do flights back and forth from Kelowna in the summertime in our DC-3. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
That's
pilots
awesome.
would take me out. Sometimes not always that much fun. Some of them would try to scare me, do some of those dips and stuff like that.
Of course.
Yeah. Lots of flying over the fields. Actually, we'd fly over the fields at some of the guides or the hunting shacks. We'd fly over the field and scatter some cows and stuff, and then quickly turn around and try and land before the livestock came back.
Wow, that's awesome. And then Martin's saying, then you forget where you dropped them off.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Susan, you grew up in BC then, right?
Yes.
So that's 2. So Inga grew up in BC. Susan grew up in BC.
Yes.
2
That's
of our
right.
staff.
I grew up there too. I grew up more northern BC. So, mainly, my parents were from southern BC, but by the time I was born, we were in the north, Dawson Creek, actually.
Yeah.
Pooskoopy, lived in Pooskoopy.
Pooskoopy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that place.
Haven't you?
My
No.
junior high self is raring to come out on that one.
I know. Heard lots of It's a little place between here and Dawson Creek.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then my mom. We moved around a lot. My dad was an electrician, and I think they would say in their first, 20 years of marriage, they moved 17 times.
Oh
wow!
So we moved a lot. Lived in actually Yellowknife for a little bit. Whitehorse. That was when I was a baby. I didn't remember those, but my dad had jobs up there. But yeah, traveled a lot. But settled in Fort St. John finally.
Okay. Cool. And any other jobs we missed, Susan?
No, not really exciting ones. It's worked for went to university then for my business degree in Regina. After I graduated, Fort St. John, moved to Regina, was there for about 13 years. Went to university there, worked for the Saskatchewan Wheat Pool for a little bit. Worked for a little company that I was the only person. I did the books and sort of reception. They were a technology. There were just a few guys, and they were computer programmers, and they made games and all sorts of stuff. So that was a little bit interesting. I really knew nothing of what they were doing. They just sat there.
What was the name of their company?
It was called Beck Technologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they became famous after.
No, I don't think so.
Because I mean, the funny thing is, right? I mean, with the technology industry, I mean, the small little startup in Edmonton, BioWare, is now, or it became, I don't know if it would still be considered, but I mean, it became one of the biggest video game companies in North America, really.
Yeah.
And they were based out of Edmonton, started there. So
I still believe.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to these guys.
No.
Awesome.
Cool. You got another question, Lance?
All right, let's do another one. So for everyone watching who maybe just hopped on, we are asking like first impression questions of Susan to get to know her more.
I just thought that was interesting. Pouce coupe is French, and the English means cut thumb.
Huh.
Oh. Okay, that's very strange.
Sounds like a place in Newfoundland. That's weird Newfoundland kind of names.
Yeah. So here's another question. How likely is Susan to go camping, and how high maintenance would her setup be?
Oh.
So dear viewers watching now, try to guess, how likely do you think Susan here is to go camping, and how high maintenance do you think her setup would be?
Oh, I think Susan's glamper. That's
I don't know. I feel like Susan could surprise us.
I think she could, but I'm gonna lean that way.
Yeah, I feel like Susan could kind of do whatever, but would have a preference.
Yeah.
Like if she had to camp with like nothing but a bedroll or whatever, she'd be like, okay.
I'm sure she's done that in the past, but I think if she had a preference, that's not the route she's going to go.
Yeah, maybe it's not fair. Maybe it's like there was a point where Susan's like, oh yeah, anytime. And then, just as time passes, like, I don't have to do that anymore.
While people are thinking,
Merton gets
the sleeping bag. While people are thinking that, just a question for you, Susan. So when you went to university in Regina, is that when you met Sean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, I moved there, and that is where we would have met. He actually is from Ontario, and I knew his sister and his mom lived on the same block as I, and then he came there as well and lived with them for a while, and that's how we met.
Okay.
It was my sister. One day I came home because at that point I was going to university and busy, had a couple kids. And my sister would come and clean my house once a week for me. And one day I came home from school and she was there and said, "Hey, have you seen this new young guy that moved in down the street?" So
Yeah.
I had not yet, but yeah.
But then you
Ended up
did.
doing-
That's awesome.
Okay, so
how
camping.
likely is Susan to go camping, and how high maintenance is her setup?
Okay, well, I love camping.
Okay.
We do quite a bit of it. Actually, not so much this summer. We didn't get out. I think we got out twice the whole summer. Just things get busy, but I do love camping. Just love being out, whether it's right by myself or with Sean or with the kids, the grandkids, whatever. We have a trailer now. So yes, Martin, I don't know if I do a sleeping bag in a tent anymore. I could, but I sure wouldn't want to. We've talked.
You like your trailer now?
Oh man, I like my trailer. We still do lots of the cooking outside and stuff like that. So we usually use the trailer. It's mainly just for sleeping in, but I like sleeping on a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this person debanned for when most people prefer glamping, unless you're hardcore. Go a few others go. Have you guys seen like the glamping kind of setups that some places have?
Oh yeah, that
like
actually.
That.
You know what? I could go for that for sure.
Yeah,
I could go for
wonderful.
that. Yeah.
I agree. Like anyone could go glamping, but yeah, camping. Yeah, not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no, we love it. Even as a family with the kids and grandkids, we camp. So we did when we were younger for sure. We had a tent and sleeping bags, and we'd be out there with the kids for sure. But at some point, I think I'm getting a little bit old.
Oh, Susan.
Yeah, I don't want to sleep on the ground anymore.
You pay the price the next day, hey?
That's right.
Awesome. Dear viewers, if you have a question, a first impression question to ask about Susan, feel free to comment it. But in the meantime, Steve, do you have another one?
So if you could pick anywhere in the world to travel or to visit or to hang out, could be a place you've been before, or it may not. I mean, because we've been kind of limited in where we've been able to go and whatever the last little bit. Where would you go and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I think if I could go anywhere, I would. Oh man, I would love to travel. That's something that I like to do, and I would love to do more of. Somewhere that I would love to do if money was not an option.
Yep, money's no option. COVID's no hindrance. Whatever.
One thing I would like to do is take a little bit of time, a month, maybe two. Something on my bucket list would be to go to Europe. And I would love to go there and travel by train. I think by train, grab my, loaf of bread, my chunk of cheese, and a bottle of wine. Can I say that?
Do the whole Europe thing.
The true Europe experience, yeah.
Right. And go like Switzerland, Austria, Italy. Just travel around some of those countries, take in some of the sights there. Oh man, go see some of the performances. Andrew Bocelli, like if I could get him in an outdoor theater or something and sit and listen. Oh yeah, I'd love to do something like that.
Awesome. That's really cool. That does sound amazing. Can I come?
Yeah, no destination, just go. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister and her husband, that's what they did on their honeymoon.
Really?
Yeah, they did. I think it was 3 weeks or something like that in Europe, and so they did England and London and whatever, and then down through different places in Europe and whatnot, and took train and different stuff like that. Yeah, and they wanted to go back on one of their anniversaries now. So they just had their 10-year anniversary, and obviously they couldn't. They were hoping maybe to even go back on their 10-year anniversary, but everything with COVID and everything, they didn't. But so they're thinking like at some point they want to go back and do that again. They really enjoyed it. But my sister loves that kind of stuff too. So
yeah.
Her husband actually lived in Kosovo for a few months. Did like a school internship there.
Where's Kosovo?
I'm
not fresh on my.
I used Serbia.
Serbia?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I think the cool thing about that sort of trip through Europe must be because everything is so close together. You see so much just in like a day of touring around, right?
Yeah.
Stopping different places. Yeah.
Well, and she said like there's tons of stuff. Like you can almost pick and choose like the type of trip you want to have. Like, do you want to go to historical sites? Do you want to go to cultural kind of things?
Yeah.
Do you want to just sightsee the natural surroundings and stuff? Like there's all kinds of options, right?
Yeah.
No, there is so much to see. And I still have so I'm from German, so my family from Germany and Russia. So even I still have connections there or relatives. And so to go and see them, I have some relatives still in Germany around Berlin and stuff like that. And some of them have been here. We've had family reunions and they've come here.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So I think it would be neat to go there and connect. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So wait a second. I'm hearing something now. We got 3 Germans on staff here.
Uh-oh.
That's why it's such a smooth ship.
It runs a tight ship here.
That's right.
That's why those pranks are pulled off with clean, neat precision.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I knew that, Susan. That's something new. I didn't realize. I don't think that your background was German.
Okay, yeah, German Mennonite.
Okay.
I'm a Mennonite.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's new information for me.
See, this is lots of fun. We're getting to know. These are things that don't just come up normally in conversation, right? That's why we're doing this. Yeah. But this Facebook user from
I think that may be Vivian.
That might be Vivian. Sure. Interesting hearing about Susan's past careers. And she didn't even mention the cat they had at the airport.
Oh, no, yes.
One of my favorite little things.
Yeah. Yes, when we worked at the airport, we rescued a cat. The bookkeeper rescued a cat there, and we had it as our mascot. And the pilots, of course, because they'd sit around the office all day, waiting for flights and stuff. But they trained this cat. It was amazing. Siamese cat. We trained it to lay down, roll over, beg. Yeah. It was quite a social cat.
That's cool. That's cool.
I have a new question.
Okay.
So what do you think Susan is likely to splurge on? I like asking this every time because it's just such a fun question. What do you think Susan is likely to spend her money on if she can? So we're taking your guesses, dear viewers. Throw out a comment. What do you think Susan is likely to spend her money on? For fun, I would say, too. Like, not boring stuff like bills.
Glamping. You mean like glamping?
Like glamping, yeah. Exactly. So you can't guess glamping because, well, there you go.
That's right.
Home baking, Martin guesses. Home baking, okay. You got any guesses, Steve?
I have no idea.
Now,
Yeah, I don't know. I think trips. I think because the little bit I've been here, I mean, you've done the California thing, and you talk about travel a bit, and I think
that's what Deb here is guessing.
Yeah, travel. Deb is saying travel too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess if I was to guess.
I think Susan would spend money on like books and stuff. I think you like reading a little bit. But yeah, travel. I feel like, Susan, you're an experienced person. You don't like things so much as you like experiences.
Okay, I thought you were calling me old there for a minute.
I'm not saying how many experiences you've had. I'm just saying you like them.
Oh, okay. You're lucky.
Doing things with her grandkids.
Well, and
that's low-hanging fruit there.
The trips that you've done, it's been family stuff, right? It's been the whole family kind of trips. Like you guys don't do anything simple.
Yeah, no. So I would say too that's a good one. The travel, but with our family. That's for me. Family is one of the most important things for Sean and I.
Yeah.
And we are so fortunate. We have 4 grown kids that still like to hang out with us. And so, yeah, we've done, like you said, Lance, we've done a few trips or Steve, to like California. We all went together. And so, man, if money was no option, then to do a trip, we would love, actually, we've talked recently about a trip to Hawaii.
Just like a whole family thing.
The whole family.
Yeah.
And so that's something, boy, if I had some money and I could take us all to Hawaii for 2 weeks, that would be a easy thing to do for sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a burden.
No, that's right.
Yeah, but Hawaii is, I mean, and the thing is, because here on the West Coast, I mean, that's more of a viable thing. I mean, growing up on the East Coast, very rare for someone to do a Hawaii trip because it's pretty much halfway around the world from the East Coast. Because it's a long flight from here, right?
Oh, yes. Well, and I think our kids are sort of, talking that way too, because they would remember. So when we were young, in fact, Megan and Allie would have been probably 5, 6 years old. Kevin and Amanda a little bit older than that. So they would have been early teens. So they all remember my mom and dad did this. So there were 28 of us, my mom and dad, all the kids, 5 kids and families and grandkids. And we all went to Hawaii together.
When the kids were young, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. When the kids were young. And so my kids want to do that again as a family. And yeah, we actually went for 3 weeks. And it was great. It was so much fun. And so we want to do that with our kids as well and their families. But so if Allie if she's on here, if she quit having babies, then maybe we could go. Every time we do a trip, she's pregnant.
Yeah, Allie, if you're listening, it's time to stop having babies.
Stop it.
This is it. No more. 5 is the limit. Because it's twins, right?
No, it's not.
It's not twins?
Unless you know something that there's someone else in the church that is having twins. So, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It's not Allie.
Okay.
So as far as we know, it's only one.
So is 4 the limit? Is that
what she's saying? I think probably, but I don't know. They like having lots of kids around, so yeah. And they're good parents, so yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty relaxed.
I definitely got that impression. They like the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, I for sure travel for sure. I'd love to take the whole family on, but even for Sean and I to have a great trip through Europe or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd spend some money on that for sure. Other than that, I don't know. Right? I like shoes. You should see my closet. I can always use a new pair of shoes.
Deb is wondering if you like fine chocolates too. She's thinking
Oh,
maybe
that I do. You know what? And my family, they all turn their nose up at my chocolate. I love dark chocolate. I've always got some kind of dark chocolate in the house.
Oh yeah.
I nibble on, and it's always safe because no one else likes it.
Those are the best sorts of things to love.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, what do you think? One more, Steve?
If you have one more.
I have one more. One more.
Okay.
All right, so what do you think it would be Susan's favorite restaurant or fast food restaurant?
That's a good question.
And what do you think she would order? What would be her typical order from that location? So this can kind of go a couple different ways. It can be more like high-end restaurant. What would be Susan's favorite? Or like fast food? What do you think Susan would like?
That's a good question, Lance.
I didn't come up with it on my own.
So my fun answer is McDonald's, and she likes chicken nuggets, but I don't think that's true.
I like their coffee.
Yep.
Get on my good side. Just bring me a coffee.
Yep. I have a guess, but I'm going to hold it. I want some other people to chime in.
Restaurant is such a hard word to spell.
Restaurant. Yeah. What restaurant does Susan enjoy if she could go anywhere, and what would be the meal?
So Martin's guessing the cake,
It's a good
which
guess.
would be one of my guesses for the high end.
That was definitely on my list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marcello. Hi,
Hey, Marcello's on. Marcello's here.
Marcello. I always remember the nice lady at the church when we visited.
Hello.
You're the nice lady, Susan.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I don't want to be the mean lady.
I think Susan was probably the first staff person I met when I came.
Oh yeah.
When you came for your visit.
Mm-hmm. I think Susan and I want to say it was Kristen. Maybe they were the first two ones I met on staff here.
I think you're the first one I met too, Susan.
Okay. Maybe that means I'm out front too much.
What?
Out front too much?
Yeah.
No, I mean when I first moved here.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was Kristen I met out front. She was the first one. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the first person I ever met on staff here was actually Lara.
Oh, was she still? Okay. Yes.
When I came up for Shannon and Kristen's wedding.
Oh, right. Because I was thinking when you came to visit before you moved here, she was not working here.
No, I mean that was 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other guesses? What would be Susan's favorite fast food restaurant? I think that's the harder one. It's like, I don't know. I don't think you're a Mary Brown's girl. Oh, if you visit, Marcelo's saying, if you visit Bolivia one day, you'll love a good and tasty peaked macho.
Okay, what is that, Marcelo?
Yeah, what is that, Marcelo?
What kind of food is there?
What?
We don't have those in Canada.
No.
Is it chicken or beef? Or who? Or what else?
Or what?
It looks like it's beef.
Someone's guessing Wendy's. Wendy's is a good guess. That would be Glenn's for sure.
Oh, yes. All his Wendy's cups.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Glenn loves his Wendy's.
Yeah, he's like known by name there. Tim's Soup and Bun.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a good guess too.
I don't know. Okay, he's saying that it's beef. A lot of it, French fries. Google it.
Oh.
I think there's sausage. There's wieners in there too, or sauce, like cut up wieners or sausage or something too, I think.
Susan, tell us, what's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Oh, okay. Well, so you see, this is a difficult one because I don't know if I have a favorite. So I'll tell you. So food for me is not. I'm good. Okay, I'm not a foodie at all. And food for me, I eat it to stay alive.
It's just calories.
It's just numbers. It's not like my husband. He gets an idea in his head and he comes home from work and it's like he has a craving for something. If I've started supper, then sometimes there's a lot of disappointment. For me, so lots of times when we go out, it's Sean who picks the restaurant because he's got a craving for something. And this is how it goes in the car. We're ready to go, or we're in the house, we're ready to go. And he's like, where do you want to go? He's asking me.
Yeah.
And so I'll suggest something, and he's like, oh, I don't want that. And in the end, we always.
I thought it was just my marriage that happened.
I don't want that. So it's really a guessing game as to what he wants. Is that what?
That's what it is. Because in the end, it's a conversation about what he really wants, and we end up there because it's not a big deal to me. But he does always. He always gives me first option, and if I guess it right, then we're good. But
but he needs your help. He needs your help narrowing down to what he wants. So he needs to hear your suggestions and be like, no, not that. Oh yeah, that's it.
That's right. But
like
if I had to, you know what? I'm pretty easy. I love a Wendy's spicy chicken wrap and a Frosty. That's a go-to for me. That's a favorite. If I were to go to a fancier restaurant, I'm not a big steaky eater. I'm not huge. My go-to in almost any restaurant, if there's nothing else that catches my eye, my default is always a chicken quesadilla.
Okay.
That's
not what I would have guessed.
Okay, yeah. No, that's my default. If there's a chicken quesadilla, and that's usually what it will be.
Okay.
That's awesome. Cool. So, dear viewers, you know Susan's lunch order now, so go make it happen.
So when Administrative Professionals Day comes around, if you want to treat Susan, a coffee and a chicken quesadilla.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Or at least a chicken wrap, bacon chicken wrap, and
exactly. I think those are almost the same, aren't they? A chicken wrap.
One's a cylinder and one's flat.
Yeah, I never thought of that before. Yeah.
Marcelo's saying I need to get back to Canada and have a full day with Susan for Food Tourism Day.
Food tourism.
Yeah.
And
actually,
she'll say she has no preference for where she wants to go.
No, so Marcelo will pick the places.
Okay, yeah. I actually love this summer the food trucks. What was it called? The Indian place, butter chicken. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
If that truck was out there, I'd grab butter chicken from them. That was a favorite
Butter-
this summer.
Yeah,
Lots of
butter chicken. Butter chicken's good stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, we've gotten to know Susan quite well. So
Yeah.
there you go. Thanks, Susan, for hopping on and
Okay.
with us.
Thank you for twisting my arm.
Oh yeah. And we'll be back next week with another staff member.
That's
Hopefully.
right. Hopefully, yeah.
We have 2 more that we got to try to get on. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was fun.
Thanks, Susan.
All right. Thanks, Susan. Bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll see everybody next week, I guess.
Yes, see you all next week. We don't have any announcements, do we?
Yes, we do. Prayer. Prayer is happening at the church. We are in our 21 days of prayer.
Right.
And so we invite you to join us. Our prayer times are Tuesday at noon, Wednesday at 7 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m. So we are encouraging people try to make it out to one of those meetings. We'd love to have you join us for one of those meetings, and that'll be taking place throughout this month, concluding with the church-wide worship and prayer evening on the 30th of October, their Saturday evening. And so we invite you to come and join us for that evening.
Awesome.
Yeah. And fall food drive.
And fall food drive. Right.
Yeah, we're collecting food for our annual fall food drive. So swing by the church either throughout the week or on a Sunday with some food donations, which go to our local, shelters and organizations in our community that help people in need. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Take care, friends. We love you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.